Hello, and welcome to the Design39 Campus Transitional Kindergarten and Kindergarten Readiness Recap recording. So if you missed the meeting or if you just wanted to hear the details again, this presentation should help you out. During this quick presentation, really our objectives are to give you some basic information about Transitional Kindergarten and Kindergarten at Design39 Campus, and to give you some suggestions of what you might work on over the summer. In August, right before school starts, we have a Transitional Kindergarten, and first grade pod welcome meeting for parents that will happen the Monday before school starts. This will be the time where you can get more specific details about your child's day, drop off and pick up details, and much more. So again, this presentation right now and tonight is to give some general information. You'll get more specific information on that Monday night. Just to start off again, as you are familiar with, these are our guiding principles at Design39 Campus. This is kind of the filter that a lot of our learning experiences will go through. So you should see a lot of these coming out in learning experiences with your children. Here's a graphic that will show you kind of representation of our day. So the school starts at 8:50 and Transitional Kindergarten throughout the whole entire year will dismiss at 12:20. Our kindergartners have kindergarten kid days until September 26th, where they will be dismissing at 12:20. Starting September 29th, the kindergartners will go full day and will dismiss at 3:15. One quick thing that you can't really see on this picture, it will be brought up later, is all kindergartners during kid days will have lunch before they leave. So their lunchtime will be switched to before 12:20 for those kindergarten transition days. So during these kindergarten days, again, dismissal is at 12:20 until September 26th. During this time, it really allows us to bring students back individually and to do assessments to really get to know your child, their strengths, their needs, that will help us to personalize their instruction and then for future grouping. It's also very developmentally appropriate. It gives our young students time to adjust to school. Jumping off the first day full day, it can be challenging for students. Even if they've been to full day preschools, it can still be challenging going into a new school and into kindergarten full time. So this is very developmentally appropriate for all of our students. So this is a question we get a lot. How many classes are there? We do have one transitional kindergarten class, these are homerooms. 4 to 5 kindergarten classes and 4 to 5 first grade classes. Now, as you've been hearing a lot about the pod, we do have 2 pods of each grade span. So there are 2 transitional kindergarten, first grade pods, 2 second and third grade pods, and 2 4, 5, 6 pods, and then there will be 2 7 and 8 pods in our school. We do have 4 buildings on our campus. There's the Welcome Center, is one building, and then there's what we're calling D building right now, is where the food court is, and the showcase, which is the multi-purpose room. Those kinds of things are housed in that building. And then we have our 2 classroom buildings. So transitional kindergarten, and first graders will be on the bottom floors of both of those classroom buildings toward one side of the building. Toward the other side of the building on the bottom floor are second and third graders. And then our 4, 5, and 6th graders will be on the top floors of both buildings. So we have 2 pods. One pod is a transitional kindergarten, and first grade with 5 teachers. And another pod is kindergarten and first grade with 5 teachers. As you can see from this example, there's a lot of wonderful learning spaces that each pod has access to. There are classrooms with walls and doors. We've got some classrooms like the green dots where the partition wall can open up and you can have a larger space. We've got a Makery, a collaboratory, imagination studio. And here's some examples of what might happen in those spaces. In the Makery, we've got kids building and prototyping and creating problem solvers. Maybe some wet art is what we're seeing, like ceramic type of, and painting. The floors are specifically, they're not carpets, they're more of the polished concrete, so they can get a little messy if needed, as opposed to having paint on the carpets. The collaboratories can be a great place where students can give presentations, can gather to work. It's a nice open space. Small group work, large group work, partner work, individual work can all happen in the collaboratory. In the Imagination Studio, we're very excited about to kind of bring a lot more of the fun and playfulness back down to our primary grades. And so each pod has an imagination room where students can take part in building and play-based learning. So we're very excited about that for our team. Something that's very important for you to know is the developmental appropriateness. So all of our teachers really understand the different needs of our young students. We do really understand that working with different teachers is really going to be based on student readiness. We're not going to be starting day one after homeroom, sending them off to other teachers. We're going to be doing this in a very developmentally appropriate way as we see kids are ready. A quick example could be 3 different teachers are reading 3 different stories, and students can then pick and choose which story they want to listen to, and that's a simple, easy way for them to start getting to know other teachers. Of course, safety and relationships are priorities in our entire school, so we make sure that what we're doing, students are going to be safe and they're going to feel safe, and that relationship, that they're going to really get to know their teacher, their homeroom teacher, and their teachers in their pods. So really building that relationship is very important for us. And then also that students really are going to be getting instruction and personalized in their area of need and developmentally appropriate for them. So that information is important to know, especially when we're talking about grouping students. There's a lot of different ways that we can group students, as you see here, by interest, by different passions they have, by levels, needs, learning preferences. We can have mixed groups. We can have mixed grade groups. We have same grade groups. There's large, there's small, there's one-on-one. Our idea is that it's not going to be the same all the time. We're really going to be reading the kids and their needs and then grouping that way. So an example of a way to group by interest is you could take the concept of addition, and you can have a group of students that's really into sports, and then you can do addition through sports with that group. And another group maybe really likes to build things, so you can do addition through that lens of building with that other group of kids. So using their interest to help still work on those skills. There's a lot of different ways that we can be grouping. Here's just a quick visual of a sample morning and what it could look like. I'm looking at the top graphic right now. There's the homeroom time as the triangle because it's flexible depending on what we're doing. We can do literacy skill type times, and this is where we can kind of group students by their need or their level or their interest or their skill. We have small groups, large groups. The same goes with math and the yellow. And also making sure we have that integrated content area where they can be working on a science with a writing and a reading component together. So at Design 39 campus, we're really looking for student choice. We really want students to be enthusiastic for learning. We want their curiosity to be sparked, and we want them to want to learn and want to explore and want to just enjoy figuring things out. We want to empower our students and really get them to feel like they can do something, that they can make a difference in the world, that they're very important. And of course we want them to be designing, and we want their creativity to come out. We want to really inspire their imagination. We want to create innovators. We want students to problem solve and not be afraid of failing something and using those failures to then create and add on and create something even better. So student choice really should come out within learning experiences. Here's a great example actually done by our own Mrs. Kasner, coming to us from Monterey Ridge. She had her kindergarten class grow vegetables, which were fantastic. I tasted them. And she didn't want to just send the vegetables home, so they created a farmer's market. They created signs, they advertised, they measured out and they packaged their farmer's market, and then they actually sold their vegetables to people in the community and to their parents. The kids learned so many academic skills and learned so many other like collaboration and communication type skills, all in this one integrated project. And that is an exciting project, an exciting way to learn. Here's one that we used to hear a lot more about, and I think we've kind of gotten rid of this rumor, so that's a good thing. Paperless versus less paper. So we are not going to be paperless, we're going to have less paper. We'll be worksheet less, no worksheets. Students are going to be drawing and writing and cutting and gluing and all of those wonderful things. In fact, we have a whiteboard table. Students will be able to write right on the table. So we will be writing and cutting and all of those wonderful things that these young kids need to do. So as you're kind of thinking about backpack type of things for your devices, think small. Think something small enough that really will just fit your child's device in there. The bucket on the bottom there is going to be what students are going to put their bags in, their lunchbox, their jacket in. It's plenty big, especially for our little kids, but they don't need giant backpacks. So go for something more like a messenger bag that can really just fit the device inside there. Now this technology suggestion came home several weeks ago. We had a lot of parents asking what kind of device was suggested. So as you can see down in the TKK1 pod, the tablet, like an iPad type of device, is a wonderful one. Chromebooks work for all ages. We do have laptops as a suggested starting around 2-3. That doesn't mean that a transitional kindergarten or kindergarten could not bring a laptop. We just find that a lot of times the tablet type of device or a Chromebook could work for our young students. So really, there's no wrong answer. It's whatever device your child feels most comfortable using. So, big question comes out, what might transitional kindergartners and kindergartners do with their technology? And this actually is a video that you can see. It was sent out to you through email. I'm not going to play it in this presentation. It's a video that Intel came into my classroom with my kindergartners when we had our netbooks. And in it, it shows students blogging, it shows students communicating, it shows them reading ebooks, and really just how we use the devices for learning. So it's a great video. It's on our website, and it was also emailed out to you along with the technology suggestions. Here's some other ideas of what we might do with our devices down at our younger grades, really all grades. Reading ebooks and creating ebooks, creating collages, a lot of multimedia production, collaborating digitally, really creating. It's not so much watching and consuming, it's more creative. It's more of a creative device. This is a video example. I'll just talk you through where my kindergartners used stop motion. They took a picture, moved something, took a picture, moved something, took a picture, moved something. And pretty much they were comparing numbers. I think it was like number 18 with number 20. Which number is greater? What does that mean, 18? So as they were learning their numbers, they were creating this stop motion math. And besides all of the math content, they also were learning to work together. They were working to communicate. They were working to take turns. They were working to actually, all the multimedia skills that went into creating this was easily done by 5-year-olds. It's fantastic. Here's another example of one part of a much larger project that my kindergartners did, where they researched endangered animals and then wrote and created public service announcements. So this is really a public service announcement video that they then showed to the school, where the school voted on one animal, and then they came together and created a product and sold that product, and then the profits, the money from that product, went to the World Wildlife Fund, where we actually helped, donated to help that animal. So again, these are creation things students can do with their devices that are going to learn the content and then so much more. Going back to some more other details you might be interested in is snack recess. We do have plenty of time, plenty of opportunities for our kids to get out and to be moving around and playing. It is very flexible, so there's not a bell that says recess has started and recess has stopped. It's much more organic and natural, so if the class is, they will make sure they get it, and if the class is working on a project, when they're finished with that project, that's a natural time for them to go out and to run around and to have some recess time. We're also going to be allowing students to have snacks in the classroom, of course at appropriate times, and being sensitive to the needs of students with allergies. Lunch in kindergarten, again, those kid days, as you can see circled there, they will have lunch before they dismiss at 12:20. We do suggest that your child brings lunch from home until the week of September 2nd. This really is very helpful for our young students, thinking about the first few days of school when they're in a new campus and a new environment, and learning all of those new things, and then to go through the lunch buying process can be very overwhelming for the students. So we really suggest that you bring the lunch until the week of September 2nd. It's not a requirement. It is highly suggested, though. If you have any questions about that, you can feel free to email me at mpower@powausd.com. This is where our ESS supervisor came up and spoke a little bit about ESS. So you can read on the screen here. If you are interested in getting your child into ESS, I believe the deadline they put is June 12th. So hurry up and get that paperwork in so they can make sure to secure a spot and have the correct staffing. And again, you can see a few more information about their ESS Kid Days. So we're getting to the presentation of the part of the presentation where it's, what can I do to help my child during the summer to get ready for school in the fall? We've got a few things for you to work on, and they're really not hard, they're actually quite fun. Working on some independent skills is really big and highly requested by our teachers. Make sure they know their contact information, like their first name and their last name. Bathroom skills, you might giggle when you see that one, and it's very true. Making sure they can do their zippers and their buttons. Most importantly, make sure they're more aware of their body. They know when to go, when they need to go. As parents, I have 2 little boys, I know. As parents, we tend to tell them to go. We're leaving, go to the potty. It looks like you have to go potty. We tend to tell them. And if you can kind of back off a little bit this summer and have them make those decisions and those choices so they can start to read their body and know when they need to go to the bathroom, it'll be very helpful when we have a whole class of them. And of course, our teachers are aware, and we will be looking for these signs to help send them to the bathroom, especially in the beginning. Help your child by increasing their sense of responsibility, giving them chores, helping with the clothes, helping with the pets. Don't make it a negative thing, make it a really positive thing, like you're getting bigger and what would you like to help out with? Little kids love to help out, so if you make it really fun and engaging, exciting for them, they'll be very excited about this, and having a little bit more responsibility will help out when they're in school. And another big one is really developing that oral language, really talking with them, being able to communicate with them. Talk with your child a lot. Encourage your child to talk to other adults that you know, and then other students, other children. So encourage them to talk. If you're at a restaurant, make sure they're ordering their food. So anytime you can get to encourage your child to talk will be really helpful. And a few more summer skills to work with is reading with your child. And notice it's with, not to. When you read to your child is just listening. When you read with your child, you're really talking about what's happening in the story. You're communicating and kind of going through the experience together. You can have students search for letters if they're learning their letters. If they're reading, maybe they're searching for words that they know. Talk about the story afterwards. Stop the story in the middle and ask them to guess. What do you think is going to happen next? So really reading with the child and having them engage in the story. Again, talking with your child. As much talking with your child as you can will be great, will be very helpful. Developing that growth mindset. So that big word yet. Yet is a wonderful word. So if you notice your child say, well, I can't do that, add that word yet. I'm not very good at that. Yet. Add that word yet. So you can start getting their minds to be more open that, hey, yet, if I work on this, then I will be able to do this, versus I can't. So keep working on that word yet with your child. And then really fun ones. Play, draw, build, and have fun. Take your child outside for walks, talk with them, observe the environment, play and build, draw pictures with them. Just really have fun with your child and engage with your child. So not hard summer skills, I think very fun ones that will benefit all families. So we're getting to the end here. 2 quick reminders. On Saturday, August 16th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. we have our Design 39 campus opening gala. And this is a really exciting event that we're working on planning. We actually have a few parents that are working with us. We're going to be giving tours of Design 39, have a lot of maker type of activities for students, some food trucks. We're looking to get some bands and some keynote speakers that'll be fantastic for you to listen to or for your children to listen to. It's really going to be a very fun event. We're very excited about this big event for Design 39 campus. And again, this was a general information meeting about transitional kindergarten and kindergarten. You're going to get a lot more specific details about your child's pod, their day, all the drop-off, lunch procedures, anything else that you're going to really need to know. You'll find out this Monday, August 18th at 6 o'clock. So thank you very much for listening to this quick recap. If you have any further questions, please feel free to email me. It's Megan Power, Power, P-O-W-E-R, at Poway, P-O-W-A-Y, USD.com. Thank you very much.